This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Hey, it's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I have a guest for you, folks.
Yeah, that part. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We gonna shut this shit down. Love and respect, all right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't know. I don't know what to tell you because you've been missing that bus and you've been missing the show. Lottie jolly, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to potty. Welcome to the Value Wrestling right here on YouTube. Welcome to your Monday night post-show review where we cover everything that went down on Monday Night Raw. And what a Monday night it was. I got a couple of things wrong coming into tonight. Little shocking. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but we'll talk about all that. And, of course, one thing I got right this weekend is the Kansas City Swifties beating the 49ers. And, you know, over there in San Francisco, the tears are flowing as the Bears trying to wash away the pain of another lost chance at getting title number 6. So the Niners will have to go back and reboot and try again next year. Good game, though. Niners gave it up in the end there. They let them walk right in. It's a damn shame. It's true. But we're not going to talk about Super Bowl. It's done and past. We're going to talk about what's coming up, and that's Elimination Chamber, which seems to keep getting a little more interesting based on all of that. Damn, you're right. Anyways, let's get into the introductions. Of course, the man sitting across from me tonight, the one, the only,
Paulus Clarke.
And you can believe that. Because you know me, I'm the big guy. I'm the man that brings you it right here on the Value of Wrestling. Yeah. Anyways, Monday Night Raw. It started off very hot, and why do I have Dave Meltzer on my screen? Wait, why do I gotta have a video with Dave Meltzer? Why does this stupid website want to promote Dave Meltzer all the freaking time? Screw a Meltzer. Anyways, Raw came from you from Lexington, Kentucky. In the Rupp Arena, Lexington, Kentucky. Not the capital of Kentucky, but it was Lexington, Kentucky. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were on the commentary team. And we opened up with a six-man tag match as the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods teamed up with main event Jey Uso to take on Imperium. And what a match we got. Kofi and Kaiser start this off as Kaiser backs Kofi into a corner. They trade strikes until a shot to the midsection levels Kingston. Followed by a knee to the face, Kofi up with a dropkick tag to Xavier, sliding clothesline to Kaiser, and a diving elbow. Woods grounds Kaiser in the corner and stomps away on him. Kofi tags in to do the same, and now here comes Jey Uso for some more stomps. Woods back in as the proverbial mud hole is being stomped into Kaiser. Hip attack from Uso, and now Jey locks eyes with Gunther. Tag to Gunther, but nope, Gunther tags out to Vinci, who takes out Jey from behind. Gunther comes back in, ripping off Jey's shirt and giving him a big-time chop. Kaiser in again, but Jey with the thrust jab goes for Gunther but misses, and Kaiser clotheslines him to the floor. Gunther capitalizes with a boot to the face as we head to a commercial break. We go back from commercial break. Kaiser is in control of Jey Uso, but a back suplex allows him to get some space. Kaiser tags in Vinci as Woods is tagged in too. Kofi springboards in on a blind tag as he hits Vinci with a famouser and a frog splash for on the back for a 1-2. Boom drop connects, and he looks for trouble in paradise, but Kaiser grabs the legs. Vinci dumps Kofi to the floor, and Kaiser sends him into the steel steps. Running boot to the side of the head. Kingston to add insult to injury. Cover for a 1-2 and no. Gunther tags in, uppercut to Kingston, elbow to the back of the neck, followed by more uppercuts as Gunther catches Kofi on a dive to make a tag and chops him down. Chop to Jey Uso for good measure. Gunther turns Kingston over into a Boston Crab in the center of the ring, but in comes Jey Uso, who slaps Gunther right across the face. The next slap heard around the world in a couple days here. Things are heating up as we go to another commercial break. Yeah, another slap heard around the world in less than, 1 week? Anyways, back live, Kofi and Kaiser tussle. Okay, interesting. Kofi and Kaiser tussle as Kofi desperately tries to make a tag. Back body drop by Kingston. This is his chance. Tag to Jey Uso. Yeet. Clothesline to Vinci. Samoan drop to both Vinci and Kaiser. And now Uso's ready for Gunther. Gunther watches as Jey takes out Kaiser and Vinci with a hip attack. Super kick to Kaiser. Kick to Vinci. Ludwig tags in Gunther now. And he goes to chop Jey, but Jey ducks it only to get chopped down on a second attempt. Uso goes for a super kick caught, but an Enzuigiri follows to knock Gunther for 6. Okay, knock Gunther. Uso to the top rope, crossbody. 1-2. Uso goes for the spear. Spear is getting overused, sadly. Kind of like the pedigree. It's just everybody's using the spear nowadays. But anyways, Gunther puts his weight forward on top of him to stop it. Rainmaker like clothesline. 1-2. Jey kicks out. Gunther heads up top now, but misses the splash as Jey goes. Got the knees up. Spear by Jey for a 1-2. No. Kaiser breaks it up. Woods and Kofi take out Kaiser as Vinci is tagged in. Vinci goes for a powerbomb, but a super kick by Uso. Triple teamed 1D by the New Day and Jey Uso. Kofi takes out Kaiser to the floor, and Jey Uso nails the big splash on Vinci for the 1-2-3. This is a good, solid match. New Day, Jey Uso are your winners. This match went 19 minutes, 49 seconds, just under that 20-minute mark. A good, solid match here. Jey looking really impressive. Jey is now lined up for the Intercontinental title, which is going to happen next week. Shockingly, Jey Uso is going to get his shot at the Intercontinental title. He's not going to win it. Not on a Monday Night Raw, I don't think. I think they're going to lead it going forward, unless they're going to have Gunther drop the title to Jey and make Jey face somebody like maybe the Bronson Reed in Perth. So unless they're looking for a big night, shooting him into Perth to do something, I don't know. I think Gunther would probably make it to WrestleMania. Maybe they'll do a 6-man ladder match title on the line for the Intercontinental title this year. There's a lot of contenders in this opportunity for Intercontinental title. Jey Uso's there. Bronson Reed would be a great guy. Chad Gable's definitely in the running for that. There's some other guys who I mean, there's more than that. I mean, you could possibly throw Sammy in there or Nakamura if you wanted to. There's some other guys. I know there's some other guys that are just blank in my head. I guess you could throw a Miz in there. Maybe a Balor. Maybe a Dominic Mysterio. You know? There's quite a few guys who could throw into a ladder match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. I don't know if Jey wins next week unless we're having a switch of plans that they want the title defended at Elimination Chamber. But anyways, this was a good, solid match. Every team got some good moments in here. New Day doing New Day stuff. Imperium looking decent, still coming out strong. Gunther being Gunther. I mean, you can't take away anything from it. Jey Uso gets the big shine in this match as they continue to push him up the card as a singles wrestler. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this opening match?
Is it just me, or did Gunther's chops look especially devastating tonight?
That it?
That was a question.
Oh, I guess. I don't know.
I thought they all looked good. I thought they were all as intense as they should have been. And I just hope they keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, no, it should be interesting to see what we're getting into. We're going to recap of WrestleMania kickoff events. We get to see all the chaos that broke down between Brock, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. And Cody will be here later to address the audience. And we get a video package of Andrade. Andrade loves this business. He had his first match when he was 13 years old. He's been a champion all over the world. He became NXT champion, then US champion. But those titles were not enough. He had to leave to remember who he was. He came back, and now he knows the direction is clear. Couldn't pay me enough to take a chop from Gunther. Oh, I bet you could come up with a possible scenario that you would take at least one chop from Gunther. I'm sure there's a dollar value or something, a whole free WrestleMania weekend, all expenses paid, VIP seating, meet and greet. All you have to do is take one chop from Gunther. It would hurt. It would suck. But, I mean, you take one and you move on. I mean, I think there, there's some value that you go, okay, that's worth it. Just what it is different for everybody.
Of course, then again, he could also do the Chris Van Vliet thing where he takes the whole school's worth of chops instead of Gunther's.
But I mean, you could do a whole video where you get a whole, chop and put it on, here, and maybe that would draw attention. You taking a chop might be the biggest thing that draws attention to the channel. Come on, you were running with the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, correct, sir? And now you're going to bunk back down from Gunther. You can't represent. You have a new friend there, and now you're like, oh, Gunther, no. Come on. Where's that Uso spirit in you? Anyways, from there, yep. But we got a men's elimination chamber qualified match: Bobby Lashley versus Big Bronson Reed. This was a match that I figured Bronson Reed was going to go over, being from Australia. I thought this was how they were going to put him on the show, but lo and behold, no. Anyways, lock up and they back each other into the corner with Reed attacking with a splash. He gets Bobby on his shoulders, but Lashley escapes looking for the hurt lock. Reed avoids it, sending Lashley into the corner, but Lashley comes right back with a big clothesline. Lashley goes for a spear. Wow. Second match, second spear. Anyways. But Reed sidesteps him and sends him shoulder first into the ring post. Reed with a shoulder block off the apron, sending Lashley careening into the barricade as we head to a break. Why am I the lab rat? Because you open mouth, insert foot. You're the one who put yourself out there, sir. You're the one who couldn't pay me enough to get chopped by Gunther. You put yourself out there. It's not about you being the lab rat. It's just the fact of the matter, you put yourself out there into the position to start that conversation. So I'm just telling you, like the $1 Million Man would always say, everybody's got a price. And we're back as relays in the repeated short arm clotheslines. Bronson looks for a suplex, but Lashley escapes. Flatliner by Lashley. He follows up with a snap suplex, 1 and 2, but no. Clothesline by Lashley in the corner. Neckbreaker attempt by Reed kicks him away. Death Valley driver by Reed out of nowhere. Reed misses a splash in the corner, and Lashley elevates him with the Uranagi. Lashley goes for a spear, but Reed catches him with the knee Uranagi of his own in a senton by Reed. Bronson heads up top for the tsunami, but Lashley catches him, throws him off the top, and spear. Bobby Lashley gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley is now officially into the Elimination Chamber, which really blew my mind. I thought they would let Bronson Reed have this win, being from Australia, the West Side, if I remember correctly. I thought this would be a great way to get him on the show. Now he's lost. He's already came out on Twitter and acknowledged that he's lost. He's disappointed his family, his friends, and his countrymen. I I'm assuming they're going to do something with him on the card. This is why I said maybe they'll have Jimmy or Jey Uso beat Gunther on Raw, and then Jey will have to defend the title against Bronson Reed at Elimination Chamber. Not that not that we're going to hot shot the title, but at least that's a way for Bronson Reed to have a match there that makes sense because Gunther can't travel due to visa issues yet. He got his visa in America. I think he's got 6 months before he can travel back overseas due to visa and travel restrictions with all the hoopla there. So that's why I'm saying, unless they clear it. But as far as I know, Gunther can't be in Australia. So I don't know what you do with Bronson Reed here. I'm kind of disappointed in this one. I don't think Lashley needs to really necessarily need to be in this. We didn't get any signs of the final testament. So I don't. It seemed weird that we just kind of. It was a good match. I'm not going to take anything away from it. It was a good, solid match. Two big guys going at it, but it was just kind of shocking that they let Lashley go into it. Lashley will be a big man in the Elimination Chamber, but he's not winning it. I think that lays with Drew or Randy. Most likely Drew, since they're building him up. But yeah, I was kind of shocked here. I don't know what you're going to do with Bronson. I don't know what Lashley really brings to the Elimination Chamber. Like, you look at Lashley and go, oh, okay, he's in the chamber, cool. Like, Lashley's stock value to me is kind of flatline. He's not really feeling important. He doesn't really feel... He feels kind of lost in the shuffle. He feels like a heel that's teamed up with baby faces, and he's a baby face because he's fighting a heel stable, but he doesn't feel like anything. Like, I don't really care to cheer for him. It's just kind of stagnant, honestly. His music sucks, too. I think his entrance music's one of the worst in WWE. It just doesn't fit him. I think that's also why I hear that music. I feel like it's more heel music based on the way it is. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of his theme music. Not a big fan of Bobby Lashley right now. And I know what Bobby Lashley can do if you go back to TNA days. Bobby Lashley is a beast. He just hasn't found that same creative run here in WWE. Not necessarily Lashley's fault. Mostly on some of the creative aspects, why they haven't brought that Lashley that we saw in TNA over to WWE. I don't know. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this matchup?
Any color analyzation I could have done, you've already answered.
My bad.
I don't even know what to add to this. I thought it was a good big man match.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like you. I don't know what they're gonna do with Bronson Reed. We'll see what happens going forward.
Yeah.
I'm probably a little bit higher than you are as far as Bobby Lashley. I have a little more enthusiasm than you do, but that's not uncommon for us.
Yes. No, I mean, I understand it. You people can like Lashley. I'm not docking Lashley. I just don't feel like he's feeling important. I don't even think his stable feels important. I feel like Drew Lashley being with the Street Profits and now BFAB, I feel like, I don't know, I felt like the Profits were higher, and then being them with Lashley, it's kind of the direction they started to go, and then they pivoted, went in a different direction, just kind of threw off the whole thing, and they just kind of all feel less of value, and BFAB is there, you're just kind of like, but why? But, hopefully they figure out the stable and get it back on track in a direction that can, send it into something to make these guys feel important again. But again, Bobby Lashley in the Elimination Chamber, I'm just kind of like, okay, he's taking a space. Cool. He'll have some good moments. It won't be the in-ring action. It'll just, yeah, he has been really flat after the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business got him really close to feeling like that TNA Bobby Lashley, but they just haven't fully really given us that TNA Bobby Lashley, unfortunately.
Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on not necessarily insider perceptions or, people who podcast, but the general audience, the so-called, what's the term?
Casuals?
Yes.
Okay.
The casual audience. Does Bobby Lashley, being a former WWE champion, add any name value to being in the Elimination Chamber?
To a casual fan, I don't know. It depends on... Casual fans see Bobby Lashley, and I guess maybe it brings a little more value than Bronson Reed. But again, I don't really think no. I don't think there's a whole lot of, at least from my point of view, that you're going to look at Bobby Lashley go, cool. He just hasn't been presented as anything special. It was there when they first brought them all together, when they should have taken him heel, they diverted from that for whatever reason. And I think part of that is what hurt that is the Street Profits are so over. Nobody really wanted them to go heel, even though I'm like, they need to go heel. But I think they struggled selling that heelness. And then when we started the Bianca Belair, Montez Ford, WWE and Love, or Love and WWE, they had to redirect to keep that both of them baby faces, because it ruins everything if they're not baby faces. If they're this happy couple and they're supposed to be heels, or one's supposed to be heel, it kind of ruins that. They could bridge the gap when you had like Total Divas. That was a little bit different. And, even with The Miz, we've seen The Miz be more babyface, even with his slight heel runs as Miz and Mrs. Was on TV, And I think that actually helped Miz get a little more babyface, because people got to see The Miz as a person and not just the character Miz. So,
right.
So I just think they hurt him when they were starting to make him go heel, and then they brought him back the other way, and we see why. And now they're just kind of floating, and it just WWE's never really known what to do with Lashley. Lashley's just kind of he's not the best speaker on a mic. He can talk, but he's not. MVP and him together make it better, honestly. In TNA, when they were together, it was better. When he came in with Hurt Business, it was a little better. But right now, it's just kind of, So we'll have to see. Who only watches from Rumble to Mania. If you're only watching from Rumble to Mania and you don't know who Bronson Reed is, then yes, you're probably looking at Lashley as the bigger star. If you don't know who Bronson Reed is as a casual. So, yes. But still, I mean, it's just... You look at Bobby Lashley, do you really get excited for anything Bobby Lashley? You may be like, okay, good match, but you're not looking at Bobby Lashley to be... I mean, you look at him in the Elimination Chamber, you're kind of like, yeah, he's a guy that's going to be there.
Basically, you're just saying he's another body.
Yeah. That match went 8 minutes, 37 seconds. Anyways, earlier tonight, we were in an empty arena, and somebody said on Twitter, look, Sammy's in a... when did Sammy go to AEW? Because he was sitting in an empty arena. So, anywho, he's with Jackie Redmond, and Jackie asked about Zayn's thoughts after losing his Chamber qualifying match last week. Zayn feels a little embarrassed, but that feeling is overtaken by an unwavering belief in himself. That belief last year carried him into WrestleMania. So, yeah, Zayn promises he will be a champion. It will not be an easy path, but he will walk it nonetheless. Suddenly, we get Nakamura on one Titantron, and then he started flashing on all the Titantrons. Nakamura appears and tells Zayn has had the glory, the moments he has forgotten. He acts like he is in misery. He wants the people's sympathy, but just like Cody, Nakamura wants to see the true Zayn in the ring tonight. If he doesn't let his real emotions out, Nakamura won't tolerate it. He will pick up his soul and carry on with his word path forward. So, real interesting setup. Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. This is what our main event is going to be. This is the way they introduced it. You have two guys who are in a place that is very interesting. Nakamura on a 3 or 4 match losing streak to Cody Rhodes at this point. Sami Zayn just kind of being on a long-term losing streak pretty much since Survivor Series coming out of War Games. That's kind of the last high moment for Zayn, and Zayn's kind of been on a lost downward spiral. Where that story with Zayn's going, I don't know. I don't think it's time to turn him heel. I think we just had his great heel run back to babyface that made him over. Where they're going to go with Zayn, I really don't know, but we'll talk more about that later. Backstage, Cody is still walking, and he will be appearing next. And we are back from break in the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes makes his way out, suited and booted as the crowd sings along to Downstate. So, Lexington, Kentucky, what do you want to talk about? Cody believes they could talk about the main event of WrestleMania 40 and how he will be challenging for the Universal Championship, the WWE Universal Championship, the WWE Championship, the Undisputed Championship, whatever they want to call it. Anyways, he's going to face Roman Reigns for that title. The only reason he's able to say that is because of those guys, the fans. They made their voices heard. And the crowd decides to chant, we want Cody, we want Cody. They get the big chants there going again. Cody thanks them for that. He doesn't know how he could repay them, but maybe there's only one way. He's a passionate guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but he doesn't want to become emotional because otherwise he'd become a crybaby. Which results in Rocky sucks a chance. While they were saying that we want Cody, there was one man who did not want to hear it. The most famous man alive, the People's Champion, the former People's Champion, the man who coined the term Cody Crybabies. Cody sends us the footage from the Pat McAfee show where Rocky laid out into Cody and the Crybaby, into the Cody Crybaby fans. Yeah. You want to get in the tongue twisters. Cody knows that promos are different to when Rock was last year, but he does have to ask, what are we supposed to do with the Nuggets? He then looks and asks Pat McAfee. Pat spells it out that he had to shove them up their keister, up their rear end, up the back door. Cody reasserts that he is a fan of The Rock, but one thing The Rock does not do well is he does not listen. Cody didn't defile his ancestry, and yet Rock chose to slap him in public. Yet Rock decided to go the Will Smith direction. Cody recognized the look in Rock's eyes and the look of malevolence. Yeah. Rock and Reigns together is a perfect storm, but Rock put his hands on Cody, and that means Cody is going to hit him back. So Cody's taking CM Punk's words after that show is over. And the great thing that CM Punk, as the show is over, are going off the air, and Roman Reigns and The Rock are still on stage. CM Punk is on a live mic for the audience, for the TV, talking about, oh, if you get hit in the face, you just got to punch him in the face. I don't care if it's your boss. And you can see, if you go back, you can see The Rock kind of staring at CM Punk like, what did you just say? I hope we get something that plays out of that, because it was brilliant. Anyways, burn it down hits, and ladies and gentlemen, here comes the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth frickin' Rollins. Cody tells Rollins to take a bow. He wants to thank Rollins for coming to his aid at the press conference, and says, what can I say except you're welcome. As much as Rollins was looking forward to defending his title against Cody at WrestleMania, he understands the decision. He understands why he needs to finish that story, and there are millions of people around the world that want him to finish the story. Now that the decision is made, Seth wants to make it clear he needs to finish that story for himself, for Dusty, for Seth, for every single person here tonight and everybody watching around the world. If Cody doesn't beat Reigns, the landscape on the other side of Mania is very, very dark. Reigns gets more power, more leverage. He shows up less. He defends the title less. The brass rings get higher. The glass ceiling gets thicker. This is the last real chance that anyone has to take that title and give it to the people. Cody might be the man for the job, but what's the plan, Cody? Last year, Cody got screwed out of the title. He fought his way back, won the Rumble again, but the deck is stacked against him just the same, and the bar has been raised. He's dealing with Jimmy, Solo, Heyman, and the most influential man in the entire entertainment industry, if not the world, a man who could have a political aspect, a man who could be elected president of the United States just by simply saying he's going to do it, and he has to deal with The Rock. Seth says he's gaming out here to tell Cody that he doesn't have to fight with this battle alone. Seth and Cody haven't always seen eye to eye, but deep in his soul, Seth feels what Cody wants. Seth is tired of the arrogant, entitled pricks that throw their weight around without consequences. He's sick of them getting away with it. Rollins has to admit the man Reigns is partly Seth's fault. They were brothers, but he could never imagine the monster he would become. Now the monster has two heads. When it comes to fighting the bloodline, there's only one man who is suited to be Cody's shield, and that is Seth freaking Rollins. Seth exits the ring, leaving Cody to ponder his thoughts. What a great promo segment. What a great option here. What a great way to blend all the different storylines that really reflect into this. What a great line to say that Seth is going to be Cody's shield. How is that going to work out? Are we leading to this weird tag match at WrestleMania that I know a lot of people are hammering about? We know Seth is going to compete at WrestleMania. Can he compete twice at WrestleMania? Or are they going to do something fishy? Because we're having the Elimination Chamber, so I don't know how this is going to work out. Seth going to be in Cody's corner? We got a lot of questions. We're going to have to wait for SmackDown to find out what the next step in this direction, as Roman Reigns and The Rock, along with Paul Heyman and the rest of the Bloodline, will be on SmackDown. Mr. Clarke, what are your thoughts on this promo?
I really love the shout out back to the Shield days because, like Seth said, it's kind of his fault to a degree. Because you can still see the chair being swung on Roman. You can still see just all that betrayal when Seth broke away from the Shield.
Yeah, so if Seth and Roman were brothers, along with a former member, Dean Ambrose or Jon Moxley, or Jonathan Goods, So if they were part of or Seth was part of what created Romans, can we not also blame one other man for all of this? Can we not blame one other man for what Roman Reigns became? Can we not also kind of, and I don't want to really say it, but I have to say, do we not kind of blame CM Punk?
You could make that argument for sure.
So I'm just saying. Anyways, after that, we got Kathy Kelly is with New Day and Jey Uso. Congratulations them on their win. And then this is when the announcement is that Gunther is going to take on Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship. It's official. It's going to happen next week. Jey is stoked. Liv Morgan reflects on her injury, being injured by Rhea Ripley, and now she'll take everything from Ripley at WrestleMania. Starch says she's been busy making history since she came to Raw. She will take care of Liv Morgan and will make history as the baddest woman in the division, and she will go on to be WrestleMania. And so Zoe Starks is trying to be now the Ronda Rousey of the WWE, the baddest woman on the planet there. Bing. Yep, exactly. So Up next, we get the Women's Elimination Chamber qualifier, Liv Morgan versus Zoe Starks. A quick roll-up by Morgan for 2. Liv stomps Stark down in the corner, but Starks comes back with a clothesline, mounted punches by Stark. Liv avoids a body slam and sends Stark to the apron. Springboard kick by Morgan takes Stark to the floor. Morgan goes for a suicide, but Morgan cuts her off with a right hand. Morgan to the top now, but Zoe cuts her off again. Death Valley Driver on the apron by Stark. Stark screamed, "This is about me," and we head to a commercial break. Back from break by Morgan. Back from break. A splash by Morgan as we come back. Liv goes to the middle rope. Codebreaker connects. 1-2. Liv gets, we get a 1-2. No, a kick out. Liv goes for a step-up knee in the corner, but Starks catches her and slams her down for 1 and 2, but no. Starks gets Morgan to her feet. Liv avoids an attack in the corner and gets a modified crucifix pin for 1, 2, no. Another Codebreaker attempt, but Stark catches her and slingshots her into the turnbuckle. Zoe catches Morgan with a kick to the face for a 1, 2, no. Stomps to the midsection by Stark. Zoe heads up top, but misses the corkscrew, and Morgan capitalizes with Oblivion and gets the 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan, this was a 9-minute and 9-second match, sold under 10-minute mark. Liv Morgan wins, and we now know Liv Morgan will be continuing on to go into Elimination Chamber, which is getting a stacked deck. We know that it's Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and I forget who the other person is now. Somebody else is in there. Anyways, your thoughts. This was a good, solid match, good women's match. Both looked really good. Liv Morgan going to get the hot seat here was well to tell. And Zoe Stark still always looking good, but good solid match. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
I am just loving Liv Morgan's evolution, both as a character and as just an in-ring performer. Mm-hmm. She continues, even though she was off for a while, she continues to get better. And this was just a great match to watch that progression.
Yes.
Zoe Starks, I've been saying, is a future star. Oh, well, she's a star now, but, you know what I'm saying, an even a better performer as time goes on.
Yes. Sorry. How can I be so dumb? It's Bianca Belair is the other female in there. So we have Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan. I guess
Sometimes our memory escapes us because we don't want to remember certain things.
Well, I just kind of over Liv Morgan. Not Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair. Anywho. Backstage, and we have Judgment Day walking. Here's R-Truth arrives. Damien Priest addresses him. They've had a lap, but the joke is over. Truth has never been a part of Judgment Day. It's not been a jumping in. It's not been a adding. He's never been, never will be. And Priest is serious, and it would be really clear tonight as it's an execution, and Truth looks concerned. R-Truth is sending a voicemail to the Miz saying he needs his help. Adam Pearce pleads with him to head to the ring as this match is scheduled for right now. And up next, we have J.D. McDonough of the Judgment Day out with Judgment Day to take on R-Truth. JD attacks as the bell rings while Truth was giving his phone to the referee. R-Truth sends JD into the corner face first, whips him into the ropes, and connects with an arm drag splash in the corner, back body drop, and the attitude adjustment. McDonough heads to the floor to regroup as we go to commercial. When we come back, R-Truth fights out of a sleeper and lays in some right hands, shoulder block, and the 5 moves of doom, but JD kicks him in the face as R-Truth goes for the you can't see me elbow drop. Truth gets him down again and nails it This time, Truth looks for another AA, but JD rolls him up for a 1, 2, no spinning flying forearm, axe kicks, misses the devil inside. JD McDonough hits the devil inside and gets a 1, 2, 3, and in a shocker of all shockers, JD McDonough gets a win tonight on Raw. Finally glad to see him getting a win, definitely over R-Truth, not necessarily a bad move here. This match went 6 minutes, 50 seconds. JD McDonough getting his moment here. Post-match, Judgment Day goes to attack R-Truth, but R-Truth holds it down. Truth and Priest are left now, but McDonough distracts him, and Priest nails R-Truth with the right hand. 4-on-1 assault now as Judgment Day beats him down, but here comes DIY. Johnny Gargano and Ciampa have steel chairs in hand, and Judgment Day hastily exits the ring. This is a good, solid match. JD McDonough getting a little option here to shine finally, which is good. He's definitely deserves it. The continued beatdown of R-Truth. Are we setting up for some interesting matches here? Are we going to get a multiple? I mean, I don't know what we're going to get here. Are we going to get an 8-man tag at Mania or in the near future between? Well, no, we are. We actually are. I think next week we are getting all 4 members of Judgment Day against The Miz, R-Truth, and DIY. That's right. That is happening next week on Raw. So we will see how that goes. Give it a bit. Never mind. Anywho, I've lost my words. I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Clarke on this match.
JD McDonough needed this win, and it doesn't hurt R-Truth one bit. He's going to be just as over as he's been, if not more, because now means they're continuing this story in a bit of a different way. It's no longer, R-Truth is trying to be a part of the Judgment Day. Now it's going to be against the Judgment Day, I assume. I mean, he can be like crazy, but he can't be stupid.
No.
So I think he's gotten the point by now. It ain't happening as far as him being a part of the Judgment Day.
We are backstage, and we see Sammy taping his wrist backstage as Cody approaches. He thanks Zayn for having his back and reassures Zayn that Cody believes in him, and more importantly, the fans believe him, and Zayn appreciates that. From there, the man Becky Lynch is walking backstage, and she will appear next. We go to commercial break. After we come back from commercial break, Becky Lynch, some man is in town. The Lynch comes out to the ring, takes a mic as the crowd starts a loud chant of Becky. Becky says that the road to WrestleMania has already been crazy and unpredictable, and that's what she loves. She loves this business. She was 15 years old the first time she stepped foot inside a ring, and she's been obsessed ever since. It's the reason she's got to travel the world. It's the reason why a girl who failed gym class was able to go on to win the win in the first women's main event of WrestleMania. That obsession also means she's missed birthdays, weddings, her own father's funeral. She's had difficult conversations with her daughter about why her face is smashed up, why she can't pick her up, why Daddy wants to fight Maui. And that was great. If you don't know, Maui, Moana, The Rock was the voice, and I guess they're going to do a live action. But that was great, explaining to his daughter why her daddy wants to be up Maui. She will see Becky's face smashed against the steel in the chamber, but she'll also see the brutality that Lynch is capable of. Becky has to win the Elimination Chamber and then go face-to-face with one of the most dominant champions we've ever seen. The people dig Mommy and don't think anyone can beat her, but Becky isn't anyone, and Rhea hasn't faced anyone like her. Becky wants to make a toast, and she asks for a drink. She makes a toast to the wild ride we're on towards WrestleMania, raises a drink in the air, and this is to Rhea Ripley. Enjoy your last few weeks as champion. This brings out Nia Jax. Nia knows they've had their differences, but she has something to say to Becky in the ring. Jax enters the ring to big "you suck" chants. I wonder why. I wonder if that has anything to do with her relationship to The Rock. Jax has big respect for Becky. If Nia's mom was half the mother she is, Jax would be so blessed. Jax wants to become a mother and will use Lynch as an example. Jax knows Becky will win the match at Elimination Chamber. With that passion, that drive, nothing will stop her from winning and going on to WrestleMania. Just like nothing will stop her from beating Rhea Ripley and becoming the Women's World Champion. This got the response of Rhea Ripley, and she has heard enough outcomes of the Women's World Champion, and she goes straight for Nia Jax. Jax sends Rhea into Becky, and Nia squashes them both in the corner. Right hand by Jax, but Lynch comes right back with an attack of her own. Becky and Rhea stand tall, and Rhea boots Nia off the apron. Rhea and Lynch lock eyes as Nia Jax sees on the ramp. Then Nia... that's it. Sorry, I didn't know that person wrote funky notes. Don't add your own opinion into that. Anywho... Great promo here. We got the women. We got the situation. We got Becky as they continue the story. They will make Becky feel like she is going to win the Elimination Chamber. She probably is. We're probably going to get Becky, the man, versus Rhea, the mommy, Ripley for that women's title at WrestleMania. It's going to be a good match. Nia Jax, of course, has got to face Rhea Ripley at Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. I don't know what to tell you, Nia. It's going to be a nice little mini vacation until you get riptide in 1, 2, and 3, and that'll be the end of that run. A good solid promo, good solid segment to build all three of these women. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
Did anyone actually believe Nia Jax's part, though? Like, she was being sincere towards Becky? Oh, I respect you with all the passion you have, and for being a mother, for being a professional wrestler. Like, really? Don't insult my intelligence, Nia. Even as a character, it's like,
well, I don't. Why would you let her? I mean, that exudes sarcasm. I mean, if you didn't look at it in the sense that she was totally being bullshitting you, I don't know how you feel like you're being your intelligence is being. I mean, there's nowhere in there that I felt like my intelligence was being subjected to anything, because I mean, she was soothing sarcasm. I mean, it was total BS. So, I mean, unless you really bought into believing her like she was trying to insult your intelligence, then I don't know where you would feel that way, because it was perfectly obvious she was just a line of crap to get out there.
It's kind of like MJF. You're so used to him being one way, so when he tries to be face, quote unquote, or in this case, Nia Jax, even a BS promo, I'm just like, dude, no. I don't believe you for 2 seconds. Shut up. I'm glad Rhea Ripley came in and helped make this segment what it was. Because it definitely needed it. Because if it ended with Nia Jax here, I would have been like, terrible.
Anyways, from there we were backstage. R-Truth is with DIY, and R-Truth is so excited because he can't believe he just got saved by DX. Shawn Michaels and Triple H are back here tonight. Yes, R-Truth talking to DIY, referring them to DX, and then ask how the Road Dogg is doing. And R-Truth's got 2 words from you, and the crowd says, "Suck it," and he goes, "No, thank you." And R-Truth continues his delusional way along. But I mean, I guess you can see that Ciampa has a little Triple H in him, and Gargano has a little Shawn Michaels. So I mean, it's not too far off.
I don't know about that one, but okay.
Anyways, we have the next men's elimination chamber match. So we know that Randy Orton's in, Drew McIntyre's in, and of course tonight earlier, and a shocker for me at least, Bobby Lashley got in. Now we have LA Knight versus Ivar. I would have thought LA Knight and AJ Styles would be continuing their feud, but since LA Knight's fighting Ivar, this is pretty much an easy pick for a win here. There wasn't really any doubt. But anyways, Valhalla Sweep Select. Well, what in the world? Don't do that weird thing. Valhalla Sweep Selects to distract Knight as this one begins, allowing Ivar to get a double underhook, but Knight lands on his feet. DDT by LA Knight. Ivar to the floor, running basement dropkick by Knight, and Knight bounces Ivar's head off the announce table like it was a basketball. Ivar sent stomach first into the barricade, but Ivar comes right back with a flapjack into the barricade on Knight. Running crossbody against the barricade squashes Knight as we head to a commercial break. We come back, and Knight is headed up to meet Ivar on the top ropes. Ivar boots him away, but Knight jumps right back up there and nails a superplex. 1, 2, no. Right hands by Knight. Ivar misses a spin kick, back elbow by Knight, but a tilt-a-world power slam connects for Ivar on Knight. Knight to the apron. Ivar drags him in through the middle rope for a nice tiger driver, which gets a 2 count. Running knees by Knight, power slam, and then the patented elbow drop gets another 2. Knight misses the BFT. Spinning League Lariat connects for Ivar. Ivar goes up top for and misses the Doomsault. And this time, Knight hits the BFT, gets the 1, 2, 3. This minute went 8 minutes and 25 seconds. Decent match here between Ivar and LA Knight, but it's what you expect. LA Knight gets the win. It's not a shocker here. Ivar wasn't going to go on. So Ivar now, oh no, not Ivar, my bad. Got Ivar on the money. LA Knight now is moving on to the Elimination Chamber, so he's going to join the likes of Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. And then we have 4 men in this Elimination Chamber. And then, of course, coming up this SmackDown, we have The Miz and Logan Paul going at it, and Dominic Mysterio versus I've totally forgot who Dominic Mysterio is facing.
I'd have to look that up.
But yeah. Dominic's facing somebody that he's not supposed to win, but he'll probably win against. So good solid match. How not gets to win here, Mr. Clarke? Your thought?
So now, here's my question. First of all, I expected LA Knight to go over. Unless AJ Styles was going to do a run-in, I expected LA Knight to go over. So my question to you then is, looking at this last few matches that Ivar has been in, as far as having a showcase and seeing what he can do, when it's time to reset, when it's time to actually give him a storyline, do you think Ivar can be built to be something of interest as a single star?
No, I don't see anything there. He's okay. He's done great here, but there's not really any character development. There's nothing to really get me involved to care. We're just waiting for Eric to come back so we can get the Viking Raiders, and they need to be a tag team. I don't think Ivar will really ever be a solo star. It's just, I don't feel it. He's had good matches with Broughton Reed. He's had good single matches. He's just, there's nothing in him that I see that's really ever going to be anything. If he was ever a single star, he'd be a mid-carder. And I think he'd get lost in the shuffle.
What's ironic is the tag team we know as, the Viking Raiders, they started off as opponents. They started off feuding against each other before they became a tag team, before they, came up through the indie ranks and eventually up to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be aspirations, maybe not. Maybe they only really want to be tag teams.
I don't know. I mean, there's just not a whole lot to it in the feels there. He's okay, but I don't see anything coming out of it going forward. It's just kind of, sadly.
All right.
Who is Dominic facing? Mysterio. Is there any news on who's facing next? Hard to I'm sure it'd be somewhere. SmackDown will come up and go. Anyways, Dominic's gonna have his match. I forget who the other member is. He's supposed to face somebody. Gosh, not that important, honestly. Sadly. Anyways, moving on. We are backstage again with Sami Zayn is walking, and he comes face to face with Drew McIntyre. Drew will make it real simple. Drew pulls another Will Smith line out, says keep his name out of Sammy's mouth and Sammy's nose out of his business. Drew steps aside to let Sammy walk by. Adam Pearce is in his office with Chelsea Green, Indy Hartwell, and Candice LeRae. Chelsea wants to be in the last chance battle royal for the Chamber. Yes, on SmackDown, I believe it is, they will have a women's battle royal for the last spot in the Chamber. WrestleMania can't be the biggest WrestleMania without her. Indy Hartwell wants to earn her opportunity too. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark stopped by and want to set an example next week by beating up Chelsea. And now we have one match left, and it is the main event. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura, a match that was set up for tonight on the show with a great promo package. Earlier on, just kind of shocked that this is the way we're going to set up our main event and jump right into it. This is something that could definitely build and go over a while. I think this may be your WrestleMania match for Sami and Shinsuke Nakamura. That's what this feels like, that we're setting up this feud. We're going to go back really because Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura had a great, amazing match in NXT. And I don't think we got the match that we wanted here tonight. Good match, but not what these two guys can bring. And I'm hoping that what we're headed here for now is that these two will have a good singles match at WrestleMania where we'll get to really see them showcase. Because Sami versus Shinsuke Nakamura is a WrestleMania match when these two are allowed to bring it the way they brought it in NXT. Anyways, Zayn controls the arm early on, but Nakamura backs him into the ropes. Side headlock by Sami. Nakamura again backs him into the ropes. Kicks the chest, goading Zayn to attack him. Side headlock by Nakamura now off the ropes. Nakamura sent to the floor, and Sami takes to the skies but a fake out angers Nakamura on the floor as Zayn does Nakamura's usual taunt, and we go to commercial break. Back live in the arena, Sammy's in control and hits an elbow off the middle rope, but Nakamura fires off some knees to the midsection. He hangs Sammy up on the top rope and gets the running knee to the midsection, which gets a 2 count, and again kicks to the chest by Nakamura, and another. He goes for one too many as Sammy catches his leg, but Nakamura kicks him away. Sleeper applied by Nakamura, but Zayn gets to his feet, snapmares him over. Kick to the back of the head by Nakamura, and a sliding German suplex from the middle rope connects. Cover 1-2-0. Zayn looking for the blue thunder bomb, but Nakamura avoids it but walks into a Michinoku driver for a 2. Zayn takes Nakamura to the floor with a big clothesline, takes a run up and hits the top Conhilo. Both men are down on the floor as we go to break. After this break, Nakamura is kicking the chest of Zayn in the corner. Zayn fights back, and they trade forearms. Zayn calls for more. Nakamura kicks with a kick to the temple, misses the Kinshasa, but Sammy turns it into the blue thunder bomb. 1-0. Nakamura struggles up in the corner. Zayn goes for the Helluva kick, but Nakamura rolls to the floor to avoid it. Sammy goes old school and goes to dive through the bottom and middle rope for the DDT, but Nakamura kicks him in the face. Back in the ring, Nakamura lays in repeated knees to the head and neck, boot to the face. Now, Nakamura staying on his knees. Nakamura to the second rope and hits a knee to the back of the head for a 1-2, and we get another kick out. Zayn gets the arms up. Crowd is rallying behind Sammy as Nakamura looks for a knee, but Sammy with a lariat out of nowhere. Zayn grabs Nakamura, peppers him with jabs as the referees pull him off. Exploder into the buckle by Zayn. Helluva kick coming, but Drew McIntyre comes running down, causing a distraction. Nakamura takes out the legs from behind and hits the Kinshasa to the back of the head and picks up the win. Shinsuke Nakamura gets a very important win here, whether you like it or not. This match went 17 minutes, 8 seconds. It was a good, solid match. Not your classical. It doesn't live up to the NXT match, I guess. Is more of my point. I hope these two get a time on WrestleMania to really shine, because I think this can be a really great WrestleMania match. But post-match, Drew enters the ring and lays the boots into Sammy. Nakamura watches. Drew stamps away at Sammy, but here comes Cody. Cody takes out Nakamura and goes right for Drew. Cody cutter on Drew. Crossroads on Nakamura. Drew hightails it up the ramp as Cody poses in the ring. Cody is ready for him next week, and it's announced Cody will be taking on Drew McIntyre next week, 1-on-1. Drew sees as night broadcast comes to an end, and that is your Monday Night Raw for February 12th. Sorry, it is now February 13th. We are past the midnight hour, but it was the February 12th episode of Monday Night Raw. Can't wait for next week's Raw as we set the go-home shows for the Elimination Chamber. And we got Drew going up against Cody on a Monday Night Raw, which is going to be excellent. This was a good match in the end. Again, if you compare it to what they did in NXT, it didn't live up to that hype, but I'm hoping that maybe this is going to be a setup catalyst. We're heading in the direction. Sammy got screwed. Nakamura definitely really needed this win more than Sammy. Sammy's okay because the story they're telling is this continuous losing streak by Sammy. I guess Sammy's probably going to lose until he gets to Mania. That may be where he finally gets his confidence, that big win back to set him on the path to whatever direction they're going with next. So it's interesting, but Nakamura definitely needed this win. He lost the last 4 matches against Cody Rhodes, I think it is now. It's 3 or 4, I forget. So Nakamura needs something to get him back into the game here after the battle with Cody, where he didn't come out victorious. He's kind of set trending or following that same pattern about collecting souls, taking names, and he's on a warpath. So hopefully we get a good direction here, but I think we're going to get Nakamura Zayn at WrestleMania, and I think you're going to have a blowout knockout match if these two are allowed to really go. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
Definitely wouldn't mind a Nakamura Sami Zayn WrestleMania match. Do you think that they do a different stipulation than just a regular match?
It may become a hardcore or an Extreme Rules match. Maybe I think that would probably be the best out of it. I don't think you're really set up for a steel cage match. You don't have any reason for a lot. You don't, Well, yeah. DQ? Maybe it'll be no DQ. Same thing. Elimination, hardcore, no DQ. They all kind of fall in that same thing. So we'll have to see how the story continues. Sammy's, he's blended in with the Drew. Drew's now blended in with the Cody. Drew's going to be blended in with Seth, because I believe Drew's probably going to come out of the Elimination Chamber on top. We may have Cody Rhodes winning the Universal Championship, and we may have Drew McIntyre actually finishing his story and becoming the world champion at WrestleMania. Because we know Seth Rollins has got to go and get surgery. So I'm assuming Seth Rollins dropping that title at WrestleMania, or somewhere in between here and there. But I think they've got Drew set up in the right place, and he's got a lot of contenders if they give that title to Drew. And maybe we can get to SummerSlam where we get Drew versus Sammy for that world title. Maybe Sammy will finally get his main title run as a world champion. Only sad thing is I hope they do it on the show, or at least they can have Kevin Owens come out and congratulate him. Of course, they could always do the Kevin Owens and NXT moment when Sammy won the NXT championship. Kevin Owens came out to congratulate him and then power bombed him onto the apron.
That's right.
So, I won't be surprised if we get to SummerSlam and we're doing Drew versus Sammy for that world title.
I would so be down.
So, and anybody who wants to think, yes, if CM Punk gets healed and comes back around SummerSlam, I don't think CM Punk's going to be in that title picture until next year's WrestleMania. I think you're going to see CM Punk win next year's Rumble. He may be back in the ring wrestling before that Rumble, but I think they're going to set you up for a CM Punk Rumble next year to complete his story, because that's kind of where he is. He wants the main event WrestleMania. His best way there is going to be through winning the Rumble. So I don't think we're going to see CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, if Drew McIntyre's world champion right away. We may have some entanglements, but I think there'll be some avoidance there for a little bit.
I'd just like to see CM Punk just do some matches just in general.
Yes.
You know, that isn't for a title.
Yes. Your thoughts?
Good match between Sammy and Shinsuke. I'm really digging what they're doing with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, you know, when he was champion, I said that he was my champion. Of course, that was also a few years ago, but hey. I'm just waiting to see what they do. Like, we're so much closer. We're just, you know, another step closer towards Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of chomping at the bit to see how we get there, what happens there. So we know what we can more or less expect for WrestleMania in a more fuller context.
Exactly. Anyways, it was good, solid Raw, good overall show. I think we saw a great show. Things are getting a lot better. I can't wait to see where this new era goes. SmackDown's going to be must-watch TV. Me and Mr. Clarke will be here back Wednesday night for your Dynamite review. If we don't vomit out ourselves before the end of that show, because it already looks like a headline by Adam Copeland versus Daniel Garcia is enough. That's all I got to say. That's your headlining. That's what's bringing people in. Hi, caramba, Tony Khan.
Lullaby and good night.
Oh, CM Punk's coming around to give GTSs? Okay.
No, now Tony Khan is via his booking.
Yes. Anyways, so we'll be here for Dynamite. We'll be back for SmackDown tomorrow, or today, later today, or here shortly. You shall see the New Japan Rebound podcast going up live. Miguel Z's got that ready for you. It should launch at any time today, sometime this morning, I'm sure. By the time we all wake up, it'll be up there, so you can definitely tune into that, find out everything that's going on in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Even though it seems like they're losing some big names out of New Japan, we know Okada is just finishing up, and Will Ospreay's just finished up. Big business is around the corner. I think Tony's going to put all his eggs in one basket. In big business, he's going to do something that's probably not going to pay off. But hey, Tony, you do your thing. We'll do our thing. On the big time, this is Mr. Clarke. Is there any final statements, comments, or anything you want to say, Mr. Clarke, before we roll out, close the door, and shut this chapter down?
So earlier today, well, technically yesterday, I had put out a Raw preview. And so what I'm thinking about doing is I may, on Thursdays, start a new show for previewing the coming week of shows. For Raw, SmackDown, all three AEW shows. I kind of have a list. Let me look at that real quick.
Dynamite, Collision, Rampage?
So what I'm looking at doing is a preview, dropping on Thursdays, a preview for that day's TNA Impact, for Rampage, for Collision, NXT, Dynamite, and of course, the coming Monday Night Raw. In that order.
All right.
I kind of had a proof of concept, like I said yesterday, by just doing a Raw preview. And so I think I'm going to do that as a whole show once we're dropping on Thursdays.
All righty. Well, tomorrow, or later today, will be the New Japan Rebound podcast. So be ready for that with Miguel Z, breaking down everything going into New Japan Pro Wrestling. We'll be back Wednesday with your Dynamite review, Friday for your SmackDown review. And as Mr. Clarke told you, he's going to come out with a brand new show for Thursdays, where he's going to give you a sneak peek on what's to come and all these wonderful shows coming through the worlds of professional wrestling. And then, of course, Sundays, we're always here with your weekly roundup to go over everything that happened in the past week of wrestling. And that is it. If you are in the Northern California area or you're going to Stockton Con, me and Mr. Miguel Z will be there live and in person on Saturday. We'll be there to hang out and meeting people. We got some stickers to give out, so get with us. And until the next one, I guess we need to say la-di-da-di farewells. Let's get out of here and go party, because the night's still young.